Today we're going to talk about the disappearance of an entire squadron of airplanes and how the missing bombers ended up on the moon. Sounds incredible, doesn't it? But a sensational photo that appeared in the newspaper proves it. You'd be surprised to see a newspaper clipping of a missing airplane. Even more astonishing are the pilots' accounts of encounters with the unknown. Fortunately, some witnesses to those encounters managed to survive and did not follow the missing squadron. Do you want to know what pilots have been hiding from us for decades for fear of opening their mouths? Then you just have to watch this video to the end and be prepared that after that, your world will never be the same again. The moon has always attracted people's attention with its mystery and inaccessibility. Its backside, hidden from the eyes of Earthlings, gave rise to many myths, legends, and assumptions. However, one day in the press appeared sensational news that shocked the public. A photograph with an intriguing caption was published on the pages of a newspaper. A World War II bomber was found on the moon. Most readers took this information skeptically, considering it an unfortunate joke of journalists or another newspaper duck. However, some enthusiasts and paranormal researchers saw something more in this message. They remembered the mysterious disappearance of American bombers in the area of the Bermuda Triangle in 1,945 years and other similar cases, about which we have already told on our channel. Put likes, subscribe to watch more videos about the unknown. One of the most known histories of the missing 5 bombshells under the command of the Lieutenant Charles Taylor. It was a row of training in which participated experienced pilot Hadmore 50th Hour Tribe. Instructor Taylor conducted a standardized and nothing is not foreshadowed. According to the plan, the self-timer should be back on the base through a couple of hours. But the last message from the lieutenant was anxious. The equipment on all 5 bombers had malfunctioned. Since then, neither pilots nor bombshells of airplanes, nor even trace of circles so-and-so was not detected. The investigation into the accident has reached a dead end. The commission could not find any evidence that airplane loss, or circles, or flooding. There was no explanation for what happened. According to paranormal researchers, from that moment on, many more airplanes and ships will disappear without a trace in the area of the Bermuda Triangle. Is it possible that the bombers from Lieutenant Taylor's squadron fell into some kind of space-time anomaly or were abducted by alien beings? Some enthusiasts have even speculated that an airplane found in a lunar crater could be one of those 5 missing Avengers. An issue of Skeptics has published a curious article claiming that there was indeed a bomber on the moon, but that it had been filmed not by American astronauts of the Apollo 11 mission, as previously claimed in a newspaper clipping, but by Soviet cosmonauts. The journalist referred to a certain former KGB officer who allegedly gave them the picture, but his motives remained unclear. Whether he did it for a reward or simply decided to share his innermost knowledge. Sometime later, a sensational interview appeared in the same edition, shedding light on this mysterious story. The magazine's correspondent in Moscow interviewed a former fighter pilot, Pyotr Gurenkov, who told an amazing story. According to him, the airplane on the moon was left there by aliens who abducted various flying machines, including bombers and gliders. Gurenkov himself almost became a victim of abduction when he flew over the Bering Sea. The pilot said that during the flight he noticed a strange green glow and a huge apparatus, not like any of the known to him terrestrial aircraft. This object was at least half a kilometer long, and it was made of dazzlingly shining metal, so bright that it was painful to look at. Before the mysterious apparatus appeared, the air had been calm, but then a violent turbulence arose, which Gurenkov could barely cope with. Suddenly, in the hull of the mysterious object opened giant doors, and Gurenkov's plane began to be pulled inside. The pilot did not see the aliens themselves, only their shadows. He realized that he was about to be kidnapped along with the plane, but was powerless to do anything. However, at the last moment, an alarm sounded inside the machine, and the aliens instantly lost interest in the Earth pilot. They disappeared as swiftly as they had appeared, Gurenkov recalled. The pilot admitted that he decided to tell about this case only after 40 years, fearing that such revelations could have a negative impact on his career. After the publication of the interview, readers' opinions were divided. Some supported Gurenkov, while others treated his story with a fair amount of skepticism. Stanislav Makiev, a doctor of sciences, considered the story of pilot Pyotr Gurenkov credible and did not doubt his mental health. Makiev's research group, which has been studying paranormal phenomena in the airspace for several years, became interested in Gurenkov's case. According to the scientist, the assumption of abductions of airplanes by alien beings can explain the numerous cases of mysterious disappearances of aircraft. It is possible that aliens thoroughly investigate humanity before making contact. However, not all Soviet scientists shared Makiev's enthusiasm. After the photograph of the bomber on the moon received wide publicity, the Institute for Space Research became interested in it. Doctors Chesnikov and Zeman decided to conduct their own investigation and answer the questions raised by the public. The results of their analysis were disappointing. First, during the period when the image was allegedly received from Soviet cosmonauts, there were no launches to the moon, and its surface was not photographed. If we assume that the image was taken from Earth orbit, then even here there are contradictions. It is simply impossible. To obtain such a detailed image, which clearly shows the cabin, wings, tail, and engines of the airplane, requires perfect technique, which was practically absent at that time. Images of such quality in those years could only be made by the American station's lunar orbiter, which were used to select the landing site of Apollo and photograph lunar landscapes. However, all these images were taken from top to bottom, while in the image in question, the camera is located on the side and slightly above the airplane in the crater. Experts admitted that such an angle could have been obtained by the crew of the Apollo mission through a porthole, but a close examination of neighboring craters revealed that the light in the false image falls from different directions. All these inconsistencies led to the conclusion that the sensational photo was created by combining the silhouette of the airplane with one of the previously published images of the moon. After some effort, the original image was found. The truth seekers found that the original image contained the same shadows, the same crater, and the same landscape, but without the bomber. It turned out that the photo was taken from the Apollo 11 spacecraft during the first expedition to the moon. Thus, half of the sensation turned out to be true, and the other half, concerning the airplane, a skillful falsification. The diameter of the crater in the original photo is 80 kilometers, while in the fake photo, the plane occupies the entire space. Everyone will say such bombers could not exist, which means that the masters of photomontage tried for the sake of a newspaper duck. During the period when the mysterious photo of the plane in the lunar crater appeared in the press, newspaper rumors often took incredible proportions. Thus, one of the publications spread the information that Yuri Gagarin did not actually die, but was placed in a psychiatric clinic. This news was denied by cosmonaut Alexei Leonov, but it managed to attract public attention. In addition, there were other dubious reports in the newspapers, not so high profile, but also raising questions. However, does this mean that the incident with pilot Pyotr Gurenkov never happened? After all, his account, as well as the testimonies of other pilots, point to encounters with objects very reminiscent of alien craft, as well as associated anomalous phenomena. There are testimonies of military pilots who claim to have made direct contact with unidentified flying objects, and so far these data have not been refuted. However, neither have they been supported by documentary evidence or photographs, So it is not possible to give a definite answer to this question. Another indirect evidence of contact with extraterrestrial intelligence is considered to be the story of pilot Frederick Valentine. During a flight on a given route, he noticed a strange airplane above him, which he reported to the dispatcher. However, the dispatcher, being in touch with Frederick, could not understand what it was about, as there should not have been any other aircraft in the sky. The mysterious machine was moving at a much higher speed than Valentine's plane, overtook it several times, and then came back as if playing catch-up. Frederick described it as an oblong object, which matched the description given by Gurenkov. Then, according to the pilot, the alien machine hovered over him, and communication with Valentine was cut off for good. As with the disappearance of the 5 bombers, no trace of the crash, airplane wreckage, or oil slicks, nothing at all, was found after Frederick Valentine went missing. The airplane disappeared with the pilot, leaving no trace. Assuming that Valentine was not abducted by a UFO, what else could have caused the disappearance of both the man and the aircraft? Mysterious incidents involving unidentified flying objects continue to stir the minds of researchers and mystery buffs. Although many cases can be explained by natural causes or turn out to be skillful falsifications, as in the case of the photo of the bomber on the moon, some incidents still remain unexplained. Perhaps in the future, mankind will be able to find answers to these questions.